We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for the virtual coffee connection. And if it seems like we're going over a lot of information in a very short period of time, the reason it seems that way is because we are. So, my goal for you on this is that you would take this podcast and share it with every business owner you know. You might be thinking, why would I do that, Mark? Well, obviously, you want every business owner you know to grow their business because as they grow their business, your business grows. As your business grows, their business grows. Together, we can truly accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. And so how do we, how do we do that? How do we bring tremendous value to other business owners? The average person on the street knows 250 people. The average business owner knows over 5,500 people. The amount of the amount of business that we can all gain when we bring value to their businesses is just insane. This 30 minutes, we have 1,440 minutes every day. We have 10,080 minutes in a week. This 30-minute on the virtual coffee connection on Thursdays potentially is the best 30 minutes that I invest of those 10,080 minutes in a week. I'm not spending the 30 minutes, I'm investing them, and I probably get, I don't know, 5-10 hours of additional time as a result of that 30 minutes. Now, to do that, it requires a certain mindset, ability to think in a certain way. And so here's the mind models. And one of the mind models that we're going to be talking about today is the iterations to success. And so in iterations to success, it's a very powerful principle. Let's say that there's 100 steps to get to success, whatever that is. Let's say your wow income goal is $1 million, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, it's what it is. Let's say that there's 100 steps that are required to go ahead and get to whatever that goal is you want. It can be financial, it can be material, it can be relational, it doesn't matter. It is whatever it is. Well, if it takes you 1 year to go through each step, we're going to run out of lifetime. So what we need to do is we need to learn how to take 1 year and turn it into 1 month. Then it only take us 100 months. Well, what if we could take that 100 months and squeeze it down into 100 weeks? Well, what if we could take the 100 weeks and squeeze it down into 100 days? What if we could take the 100 days, squeeze it down into 100 hours? What if we could squeeze it down into 100 minutes, 100 seconds? So it's being able to condense things down. It's able to go ahead and bring things down. And that's really what this weekly podcast is about. Now, how do we do that? So, what's your biggest challenge that you're currently facing in any area of your business or life? So, why would you share this with every business owner you know? Well, if you care about other business owners and you help them solve their problems, as you help them solve their problems, they help you solve your problems. As the tide rises, all the ships rise together. And so Albert Einstein said something very fascinating. He said, you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. What does it mean? It means we create our own problems based on how we think. That's what it is. And so we need to learn to think differently. And so there's 3 steps to solving any problem: examination, solution, and implementation. The better the examination we do, the better the solutions we're going to have. The better solutions we're going to have, the better implementation we're going to have. Implementation is where most people fall down, but what they don't realize is because they didn't do the proper examination, didn't do the proper solution. Now, there's natural laws. There's over 500 of these natural laws that have been discovered in the last 30 plus years. And one of them is the next dimension principle. And so in the next dimension principle, what's the higher number, a 2 or a 9? Most people think, oh, 9 is, but if there's 10 levels in a dimension, once we hit a 10 is not perfection. A 10 is masteries of that particular dimension. So a 2 in the next dimension is actually higher than a 9 in the previous dimension. And so dimensions in business is about 100,000 in sales, and then 250,000, then a half a million, then a million, then 2.5 million, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million. It's roughly doubling it. So what's the difference between making a million and making 500,000 or 100,000? It's how we think. It's learning to think differently. And so our wow income goal, like if you write down what's your wow income goal. So somebody who sent this to you, whoever sent this to you, cares about you. They care about you for two reasons. One is because, I don't know, it's just a good thing to do. And two is they understand the concept of what's in it for me, selfishness. The concept that if I help other people achieve their goals, like Zig Ziglar said, if I help enough other people achieve their goals, they're going to help me achieve my goals. Is we can help you grow your business. You're going to help us grow our business. Together, we can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. So write down right now what's your wow income goal. And then write down what's your minimum income goal. Then write down how many hours you're currently working a week and how many hours you'd like to be working a week. And so the difference between your wow income goal and your minimum income goal, that's what we call the subconscious gap. And so our subconscious is really good at setting high goals. It's to say, hey, we can do some crazy, amazing things. But it's terrible at telling us how to do that. This is why we need the business operating system. So business operating system is the engine that runs our business. We earn the money, we earn, work the hours we work, have the stress and life balance we do or don't have as a result of that engine. There are three components to the engine. There's the DNA for people, business, and life. The DNA for people is going to be Personality Masteries, Through Life Masteries Institute. And it's the ability to identify somebody's personality in 17 seconds. Once we identify their personality, we know their strengths, weaknesses, what they like, what they don't, turns them on, turns them off, if they're married, who they're married to, conflict marriage. We know more about them in 17 seconds than you know about themselves. And so it helps us in sales, it helps us in employees, it helps us in referral partners, anything having to do with people, it helps us. The DNA for business, we'll talk about that in just a minute. It's the 530 grid, and DNA for life is natural laws. And again, there's over 500 of these natural laws. When we understand these natural laws and we honor these natural laws, then we're going to see greater success in every area of our life. Now, in the DNA for people, there's 4 major personalities. And if you look at 2 levels, there's 16, 3 levels, 64, 4 levels, 256. If you look at the G on the pain, there's 65,536 possible combination, but it all comes down to 4. In DNA for people, there's 5 areas in business: marketing, pre-sales, sales, servicing, client, relationship for life. In the DNA for life, there's 500 natural laws, but there's 3 energies that see, think, and do. So Einstein, going back to the beginning, where he said, we can never solve a problem on the level it was created. And so a lot of times people blame other people for things. And we don't realize that we need to be the ones to learn to see things differently. In the 530 grid, there's 5 areas in every business. Doesn't matter what business it is. Every business is going to have 5 areas. Tom Kuntz, most recent past president of Century 21, he said this is the holy grail for business. He says it's the DNA for business. It'll work with a boy with a lemonade stand or a multi-trillion-dollar company. So you have marketing, and so how do you generate more and better leads? You have pre-sales. Once you get a lead, what do you do with it? The sale is the yes or the no. Servicing is how do you create a raving fan experience for people that they refer everybody else to you. And area 5 is client for life. It's like a funnel with a pipe, and we're only as strong as our smallest pipe. So if we had $1 million that we wanted to do an income, we could have 4 out of these 5 pipes at $1 million. But if one of them is at 50,000, we're only going to do 50,000. So that's really what the Virtual Coffee Connection is all about. It's about coming together. What's the difference between a mastermind group? What's the difference between a mastermind group and a networking group? A networking group, and there's nothing wrong. Both are good. Networking group, you give me a fish, I give you a fish, and we both walk away with a fish. We're both happy, but we still probably own a job rather than owning a company. And so virtual coffee connection is about how do we put systems in place that maybe double our sales closing ratio. The average, if you have 10 leads, a lead being a name and phone number, how many of those are you going to convert? The average in most industries is about 1 out of 10. Let's say you're 2 out of your 10. You're twice as good as the average in the industry. That's great. Awesome. Pat yourself on the back. That's amazing. But you're still not getting paid on 80% of the work you do. And so by attending the virtual coffee connection, if we can help you, go ahead and just convert 1 or 2 more out of 10. That'll increase your business by 50 to 100% with no additional leads, no additional effort, money spent. It's just being smarter, not harder. In the 530 grid, there's 6 levels of proficiency. And so in these, area level 1 and 2 is kind of, it's getting the ball. It's easier to change the direction of a moving car than one that's standing still. Level 3 and 4 are going to be focused in on numbers. How do we fine tune the system? How do we, you see measure results, improve pressure points, you see all of measure pressure points, R&D, all of these type of things. And then in 5 and 6 is where it's really fine tuning your engine, your boss system, where like little tweaks can go ahead and double your income, cut your hours way down. And so as promised, we've gone over a lot of information in a very short period of time. And so, send this to every business owner, and say, hey, watch this podcast, watch the first 11 minutes of it. And then decide, do you want to go ahead and watch the rest of it? Say, watch the first 11 minutes of it. And then, do you want to go on? Do you want to participate in it? So Thursdays, and it's early for you West Coasters, really early for you West Coasters. So it's the East Coast time. It's 6:30 Eastern time. And you just go to www.ravingfan.net, ravingfan.net, and join us. You can also go ahead and connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session and ask them for the 3-minute personality assessment. And then you can also go ahead, when you do that, and that might be like listed somewhere around here, I'm guessing down below or something. And when you do that, put who you're referred by. Or if you just saw this, hopefully you're referred by somebody, you put their name in it. And then you can get a complimentary 30-minute gift strategy session. And so it'll absolutely blow your mind. There's no cost to it. You go through that, you'll understand your personality in some crazy, crazy ways. If you have any questions on anything we covered right up to this point, or anything we're going to cover after this, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300, outside the U.S. 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day.